1 in 6 of us have no savings at all.
Yeah, is that you? Let us know your experience of all of this, because, of course, with the cost of living crisis continuing to bite, it is now harder to put money away than ever.
So let's get you some tips, should we, about what you can do at what is a very difficult time. Money coach Adam Price joins us. Adam, good to see you this morning. But let's kick off right with people at the very bottom who've got no savings whatsoever, who are struggling day to day. Is there anything they can do?
Yeah, it's a great question. And look, it is really tough for a lot of people out there at the moment with everything that's going on in terms of the cost of living crisis, energy prices going up, food prices going up, mortgages, rent. So it is really, really tough. But perhaps the number one thing I would say to begin with, and it may sound a little unusual, is to talk more about money. So this week is actually the National Talk Money Week. It's a week organised by the Government's Money and Pension Service. And it's all about, by talking, we, as you say, we start to understand we're not alone. Everybody's worried about money at the moment. Lots of people don't have savings. Lots of people are in debt. Lots of people are worried about the future. So the more we start talking as a society, that gives us a more of a fighting chance to then take the steps that we might be able to and might need to change things in the future.
Is it a good time to save? Because people always say when mortgage rates go up, you know, there are lots of downsides to seeing high interest rates, but it's good for savers. But I haven't seen any interest rates increases being passed on to me via my bank. And also with inflation where it's at, is your money, when you're saving it, actually worth less after a period of time?
It's a really good question. So interest rates are starting to go up, but you're right, mortgage rates are also going up. I would think about saving in a slightly different way, and I'd think about, again, what is it that you want to be able to do in future that money will help you with? So maybe at the moment you feel really stressed because you haven't got that savings buffer, costs are going up, you're not sure how you're going to meet them. Maybe you'd like that stress to not be there in future, or maybe it's about you want to still be able to go on holidays in future, or you want to feel comfortable that you're still on track for retirement. So I think about what is it that you want to be able to do in future, short term, medium term, long term, and then how can savings help with that? So that might be savings in a current account or a short term interest account. Where you're right, the returns aren't going to be great, but at least it's building you that buffer that you can use either for shocks or things that you want to be able to do in future. But then I'd also think a lot about long-term saving. If you're in a position where you can do this, or maybe in future, you know, for example, if you put money into a pension, and if your employer matches that, if you're a basic rate taxpayer, you could put £40 into a pension. Your employer would put £40 in if they match it, and then the government would put £20 in as well. So you're saving £40, but you're actually getting £100 into the pension. Now, that's only for long term. You can't access that until at least the age 55. But yes, I would think about saving a little bit more broadly than just what interest rate can I get at the moment.
Okay,
what about those people who maybe got, you know, a tiny bit of spare cash, but they don't think I've got enough to save, really? Is it about little and often? Does that? I mean, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but the idea that, well, if you can put £1 a week away, well, it's 52 quid a year, isn't it? I mean, it does add up over time.
Absolutely. It's about baby steps. It's about making small adjustments. It really starts with, as I say, thinking about the why. So you've got that motivation, you've got that goal. But then next would be looking at your numbers. Look at how you spend money today. Get your bank statements out, break it all down, and think about, okay, what there do I absolutely need to spend? What there do I want to spend? Because it really does bring happiness to me. And then what spend is maybe not bringing that happiness that I could cut. So and there are literally hundreds of things you could do. We've got a guide on our website, 99 different steps you can take. But it could be things like unfollowing certain brands if you find you tend to make impulse purchases, or taking your debit card details out of online shopping sites. So it's just that little bit harder for you. It just makes you think twice. Again, coming back to talking about money, it might be about talk about money to your friends, and maybe you realise that actually have pretty much just as much fun all having a night in together as having a night out together. So it is about these small adjustments sustained over time, but making sure the things you're picking on are not the things that are going to compromise that happiness and that life you live too much. Otherwise, those adjustments won't stick.
So interesting, isn't it? Adam Price, money coach, with lots of really great tips there. Thanks very much indeed.